trucks built to serve.
Welcome back to a big Thursday show. Check date, still gridlocked. Team and Lamar need to make a decision on the franchise tag by March 7th. Nick?
Yeah.
You are high on trading Lamar.
Well, I just think that's where this is ending.
Do you think he asks for it or the Ravens make the move or it's mutual?
I think it's going to end up being mutual because they're not going to pay him. And everyone else is going to be getting paid. And everyone except for Joe Burrow that's going to get paid has accomplished less than him. And Burrow even doesn't have the regular season success, right. But he still obviously has far more postseason success. I've been waiting for this article, the old 3,000 words notebook dump on everything that went on, and it was about what you expected to read, that the Ravens were flummoxed by Lamar's lack of availability at the end of the year. It also had a lot of that Lamar had, more flashes of anger and frustration. I thought that was unfair. Yes. I didn't like it. But I was still waiting to read it.
Slammed his helmet.
All of that, it felt unfair. But the point is, someone from the Ravens, those are good reporters that have been covering this team for a while for ESPN. I give them credit. Jameson, and I forget the other's name, but it's a good reporter.
Jeremy Fowler.
Thank you. Fowler and Hensley wrote it. And so someone was telling him that. Didn't paint Lamar in the greatest light imaginable. That's intentional. And they just don't value him the way he feels he should be valued. And the longer that they pretend Lamar's going to fold, I think the worse off they're going to be. And even if Brew's right that he wouldn't hold out the whole year, Coach, I think they would be DOA if under a new offensive coordinator with a new system, they franchise tag him and he doesn't show up until 3 days before the season, which is his right. I think you might as well then trade him because this season is going to be lost before it even gets started.
Well, plus, if they're saying they were flummoxed by him not playing and they couldn't believe that happened, what would make them think that it wouldn't happen again? If it happened this year, what makes you think that if you reach an impasse again, that same situation couldn't easily rear its head the same way? And it's at some point, one side's going to have to give significantly, and it seems like Lamar is pretty well dug in, and understandably so. How do you sit in that division and see another guy get the deal that he gets, and then have your team come back and say, well, we can't do that for you? It's a hard pill to swallow for a guy.
Yeah, what's happening is the team, as maybe all the teams would like to try to do, is acting like the Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson contracts. Those are the ones, that's where you can set the market, right? Go better than them. They're like ignoring the Deshaun contract.
Yes.
And he's looking at the Deshaun contract as he should and saying, look, I'm better than him. I've done more than him. I don't have the off-the-court field baggage that he has. I should get paid more. And I think he should ask for the trade so he can gain some control of this situation. And I think, look, to me, this puts the Jets in an interesting situation because they already seem to be waiting on Aaron Rodgers before they fully go in on Derek Carr. Of all three of those guys, I want Lamar Jackson if I'm them. So I think they need to wait and see what happens with this.
Nick, do you think in this article, the deal that he was offered in September was $133 million guaranteed, $250, $133 guaranteed. So it's less than Deshaun, but more, like you mentioned, than Kyler and Russ.
Yeah.
And then we also heard that they were $100 million apart.
He wants $240 million guaranteed.
Right. Do you think it's going to get down to, hey, 180? These are like astronomical numbers, and at the same time, he deserves to get it. So I don't know where you're like, I want 180, I want 200.
Well, I think what the Ravens' hope is that Herbert or Burrow gets done, that they're at like 140, and then they can go back to Lamar and say, see, like, look, okay, right. And then they will up theirs, you know what I mean, a bit. Yeah. But that is a dangerous game for a lot of reasons, and this is where Lamar not having an agent is complicating in all facets. It makes the negotiating complicated because, as we've talked about, the team usually says to the agent, here's why your guy doesn't deserve it, but you're going to say that to Lamar, like, here's actually why you're not as good as, but we still love you. Right. But the other reason is agents advocate for their guys, but also grease
Other
the
guys.
skids to get
Yes.
deals done. They got to do business with these guys. They want their, it's very often it's like, okay, my 3% of zero is a bigger difference for me than 3%, whether you get the guaranteed or not. It's just Lamar. I just don't think this gets done. I think when it doesn't get done initially, it's not getting done. And the longer it draws out, the worse it is for the Ravens. And so see if you can get a bunch of first-round picks. And, hey, Mac Jones, couple firsts. Come on, do it. Send him to New England. New England needs a quarterback. I'm trying to help you out. Trying to get Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, I would.
Oh, he's out. You're out on Mac now.
For Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, you got the money. Do it. Belichick could have drafted
quick.
it. Took Sony Michel.
Drop the Photoshop. Drop the Photoshop in the back.
It's Lamar Jackson. Mac Jones wouldn't be mad at me for that.
Has emerged from his darkness retreat after seeing these pictures.
What's this music?
This is the darkness retreat music that Hubs picked. These are the pictures of the facility in Southern Oregon, which at first I was kind of thinking it was silly. All of a sudden, there's availability in September.
I might go there.
You like it, huh?
Yeah, I think it'd be wonderful. That cave, come on. Look out at the beautiful nature. Here's the description. 300 square foot room in which Rodgers spent his time is a partially underground structure devoid of light. It's got a queen bed.
Nice.
I thought it was going to be a twin bed. No, it's queen. Bathroom and a meditation-like mat, fully powered, and the lights can be turned on from inside the room.
That last part, I
Yeah,
gotta
I
say,
don't
I
know
think is a
about that.
flaw in the system.
No, you can also open the door. You get meals.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be able to turn on
That's
the
a
light.
lot of.
First of all,
You
can
can
do whatever
open the
you
door
want.
if you want light.
What? No, well, you don't know what time it is.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
On McAfee, Rodgers said he'd, quote, have a better sense of where he's at in his life post-retreat, which is where we are at now. The Packers probably will know what's going on, too. Nick? Oh, Coach, Super Bowl champion Coach Mangini is here. But, Nick, you're high on a Rodgers trade. Why?
Yeah, I just think the Packers, listen, he's 39, he's going to be 40 this year. The list of quarterbacks who have been very good at his age, Brett Favre had one good year at that age, and then he was bad at 39 and bad at 41, but was good at 40.
He was half bad at 39.
Okay, sorry. You coached.
And he got hurt.
I understand. My bad. But he was very good the next year in Minnesota, and then very
had
bad
that
his
one
final
great
I
year.
would have liked that.
Yeah, that first one. Brady, obviously, and 1 year of Warren Moon. We also are seeing the clear deterioration from the MVP years to last year, and it makes sense. And you have an investment in Jordan Love. And he's meaning Rodgers, is expensive. The question I would have is this, Coach. When we are talking about where he could go, and I promise, Wilds, I'm not saying this to tweak you.
Okay.
Why are the Patriots not involved? No, just hold on a second. You were open to the idea of Brady coming back for emotional reasons, but also because he could give you a boost.
Sure.
Belichick is the oldest coach in the NFL, or he or Pete Carroll, one of the two. They are having down years. They have the cap space. They have the excellent defense. They now have a real offensive coordinator. People had said for years, what would Rodgers look like if he had that type of defensive support, that type of coaching? Why would that team, even if it's just for a 1 year rental type of thing, and then you give the reins back to Mac Jones, why would they not be one of the leading candidates to call up Green Bay? Because they're not going to trade him to San Francisco, even if San Francisco had the cap space. They want to trade him to the AFC, I would imagine. The Raiders are going to be top of mind, I know, but why would the Patriots not be on there? I don't know. I think they should be, and I think the Packers should turn the page.
So the Patriots are going to get rid of the all-time legend, greatest player ever, because they felt like he was too old and too expensive.
Out for him.
And then they're going to go trade for another guy who's in a very similar boat, who runs a completely different offensive system, a completely different team that have to change everything in terms of what they believe philosophically to accommodate that. And it's a 1 year rental and give up on the first round draft pick.
I don't know that you're giving up on Mac Jones. You're putting him to the side for a year, letting him
That would
recover.
be 2 years of messing with his mind.
Well, okay. You guys are fine with putting Jordan Love on ice for 10 years.
He hadn't played, though. He hadn't made a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not so much worried about the hurt feeling component of the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like that part, to me, if they thought it was a reasonable way to get to where they need to get to, it's just a hard thing to imagine them not keeping Brady and then trying to go get Rodgers.
I